Okay, you guys have been asking me a topic that I've been trying my level best to avoid this entire time it broke out. I think about 4 days ago, or 3 days ago, I can't remember. The Palestinians, the 153 Palestinians that landed at Or Tambo International Airport, and nobody knows who they are or what are they here for. That to me is scary. Now, I don't want to talk about the Palestinians themselves. I think these people, one way or the other, they've been used for something. Either whoever promised them whatever they promised them, they got the money and they split. And now you have a situation, once again, where South Africa is a dumping ground. So for me, I'm not concerned about them. What I'm concerned about this entire saga is our national security. You are telling me a plane that is not on a flight plan comes into our international airspaces unidentified, lands at one of our national key points, no interception by the intelligence or at least military intelligence, and it actually lands at Or Tambo International Airport, and then from there everybody's dear Makar. That's concerning. That is concerning. And I think if this was a military strategic plan by a certain nation to see how vulnerable South African national security is, now they have their answer. It's non existent because this is the very thing we keep talking about on this channel. Where is the intelligence? Because this is their job. You intercept a flight that is not on the flight plan, but you still assisted with our towers to a point where it approaches and even lands on our national key point. What if that flight was carrying nuclear bombs? South Africans will be wiped clean right now. We'll be gone. What if it had an incurable disease that was just going to be spread in the air? We'll be sick right now. That is my concern about this entire situation. If this is a military strategy by some country, we are in trouble. We are in trouble now. They know what to do. In 2011, we had the Gupta flight landing at one of our military key points, Varderkloof, if I'm not mistaken. Again, those people now know our military war strategy. We weakened ourselves and we continue to weaken ourselves. I also remember, I think it was 2009, 2011, between those two, where a Chinese fishing boat was intercepted, not by the intelligence, though, by like ordinary South Africans. And then the question was, where were the intelligence? Where were the intelligence? Our international waters was invaded, and you thought that was going to be the end of it. We learned something. No, comes this plane with 153 Palestinians. Listen, Palestine is a war zone. And if people are seeing South Africa as a asylum destination, which, by the way, according to the Geneva Convention, South Africa is not their first safe country. South Africa is not their first safe country. But now I'm listening to the president. The president is like, oh, they come from a war torn zone. We have to keep them for humanitarian purposes. So then, if we're going to have people coming all the way from the Middle East, listen, I have no issues because I have seen the destruction in that part of the world. And if anything, yeah, humanitarianism needs to kick in with us, which includes Ubuntu, right? I don't have no issues with that. I have no issues with that. But what I have an issue with is now discovering that none of them have proper documentation. for them to even be considered as asylum seekers in South Africa. So, well, a decision has been made, an executive decision has been made that we're going to keep them for 90 days while they process their papers. Now, the question is, if this is a precedent that we are creating, why would we reject another plane filled with people from the Sudan, filled with plane people coming from is it Siberia and all the other war-torn zones of the world? You are creating a precedent, and again, South Africans find themselves at loggerheads discussing something that shouldn't have been happening to begin with if we had the intelligence. But who is going to hold the president accountable? Yeah, yeah. And you would have thought Parliament would have converged with an immediate joint sitting to discuss this. But the president takes a unilateral decision and says, I will keep them for 90 days on humanitarian um, leg. I would have thought Parliament would be the one that would have debated this and made a decision. Keep them temporarily until the decision has been made by Parliament. Because at the end of the day, you want to curb anything like this happening again so that the right departments in the security cluster are held accountable by parliamentarians. But no, they just fold their arms because Cyril Ramaphosa has a very powerful PR team behind him. I'm telling you guys. And they keep winning, and he will continue to win Ramaphosa against South Africans because he has arrested our minds. That includes the members of parliament. Yeah, your public representatives. So again, the question is, where was the intelligence when a flight that is unidentified lands at Tambo International with human beings inside, some of whom are ill? We don't even know what diseases they have. And if there's a new disease that breaks out in South Africa and South Africans are affected, who is going to be held accountable? These are the things that I don't think they are thought about. A 9-month pregnant lady was on that flight. And then you have to think like, no, man, this doesn't make sense at all. It absolutely makes no sense at all. To me, it sounds like some soft invasion on us to investigate something. And I am telling you, it's to investigate how weak we are. Guatemala, the whole Banana Republic thing, is attributed allegedly to the CIA, American CIA. How do we know? Right now, we have Donald Trump, whom South Africa lives rent free in his mind. These are the things that my two IQs are thinking about. Like, what if, and now he knows? I don't know, guys. Honestly speaking, sometimes South Africa turns us into conspiracy theorists because we try to make sense of things. And I don't like being in this position. But unfortunately, the mind runs wild. And you always have to think safety and security. And right now, South Africa's safety and security is weak, probably non existent, because the intelligence, the South African state security, was sleeping on the job. If it was in the US, an unidentified plane coming from wherever, either it will be shot down or military planes would have been sent to escort it somewhere safer to land, away from the population, in case, just in case, people inside there, they have some kind of ailments that might affect South African. Maybe it's even airborne. And I hear some of these people, when the plane landed, they did actually get off the plane. What are we breathing right now? I'm not saying that they are carrying diseases, but I'm saying, what if that was a military attack on South Africa using human beings as the carriers of this attack? This is concerning. This is concerning. But no, we are too busy worrying about gambling. Hmm. South Africa. Ayesocela ivuthiwe ngiyantshela one day. Hayi isibhaxo sisazokhala. Sizazokhala isibhaxo because we are busy talking frivolous things instead of asking the real things that affect you and I on a daily basis. So now the taxpayers, and I hear this is not the only flight that landed in Or Tambo International. There was another one with 160, if I stand corrected. So we have over 300 Palestinians in South Africa. I'm not even sure if they are Palestinians to begin with. And taxpayers are going to be footing the bill for the next 90 days to take care of them. Possibly, they might actually even be granted asylum in South Africa. And once again, the Geneva Convention through the window, because South Africa is a dumping ground. It's the easiest country in the world to penetrate because, oh, our laws say this. Oh, hold up a minute. When a person that leaves a certain country lands at Or Tambo International and goes straight to BMA and say, I'm here seeking asylum, by law, BMA cannot do anything, cannot send them back. BMA will have to take them to a relevant department, and then they are processed and granted asylum. Our law. It's our law. But do you see how vulnerable that makes us? Do you see how vulnerable that makes us? Sooner or later, a whole bunch of people from everywhere, including people with criminal minds, are going to discover this and come to South Africa. And then you will wonder why this country is now Colombia. Well, that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at right now. And the citizens are busy discussing frivolous things. Ayihambile izwe, lihambile izwe. Oyikhohlisayo ukuthi lihambile ngikutshele. It's gone. South Africa is gone. Gone. Angazi ukuthi how we gonna bring it back, because the citizens are sleeping. Citizens are fed alcohol and yaube. The citizens busy dancing away their future. Hey, anyways, before I get all worked up, let me leave this video right here. Those are my thoughts to some of you. You guys who asked me what my thoughts about this Palestinian saga. My concern is the national security. That's my concern. The how part needs to be answered. How did they actually even entered our international airspace? How did they approach and even touch down with a plane? We have no idea what it is. And I think people need to be held accountable, including heads rolling. But hey, welcome to South Africa, though. I hope the 153 and plus Palestinians, you would find us to be nice people, because we are nice people. I know that was not your plan to be landed in Africa, but trust me, we are harmless. I'll leave this video right here. Oh, and congratulations for whatever. Goodbye, guys.